What's up, everybody? So this is going to be a rant about Tyler Perry's newest movie, A Madea's Homecoming. We're just going to jump right on into it. So if you intend to watch this movie, I would suggest you leave now. I'm going to give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. So if you're still here, you want to hear everything. So I'm not going to go deep into the ins and outs. And the reason why is because the writing was piss poor. That writing was just all over the place, and I don't have time. So we're just going to just jump into just the meat and potatoes of this film. So everybody on your left-hand side is the people that we are supposed to be focusing on. So we're going to put that spotlight on the left-hand side. All right. I don't remember none of their names except Davey, because they said his name so much throughout the film. I honestly can't tell you anybody else's name, but I can tell you who they are. All right, so we're going to start at Davey. Davey is the friend of the son. They've been dorm mates, and he's coming home with him to visit the family. The son is the guy in the polka dot shirt. He is gay, and he's supposed to be coming out to the family. The lady behind him is his mother. The lady behind her is her police officer sister. The tall bald head man is the father who just divorced the mother. And the lady with like the, I guess, flower dress. I guess that's what that is. The flower dress is the best friend of the mother, and she is now with the father. Yeah. So they got together, and everybody's all mad. Like, ooh, he low down, he trifling gear, and all of that. So anyway, they were like, Madea was like, why is he even coming? And everybody's wondering, why is the dad coming? Well, the son wanted the father to come, and I think that's the only person that it should matter to. Like, it's his celebration. It's celebrating his achievement, graduating from college. He wants his dad in attendance. Okay, but the whole family throughout the entire film is just like tearing him to stress, tearing down the daddy. Daddy ain't shit. Daddy was this. Daddy is a deadbeat. Daddy couldn't provide. Daddy was all of these things. Daddy was all these bad things, right? But nobody can say an example of what he did that made him a bad man. None of them, right? None of them. They just were just yelling the same thing, right? And Madea hated him the most. Okay? And Davey, from the jump, seems to have a problem with the bald head man. Like, he seems to have a problem with his dad. And, you know, it's easily to assume that the reason why he has a problem with him is because, you know, he's with the son. And apparently the son and the mother went through a lot of hell at the hands of the dad. But when he comes in, that's not even represented that he was a piece of shit individual, because he actually seemed pretty cool, but the family just didn't have time for him. Nobody liked him or anything like that. And it's awful funny that the son doesn't have anything negative to say about his father either. If anything, he just says, hey, Dad, I'm sorry that you never had a lot of money, but you were always there. And I thank you for that. So the son seems to love his dad and have a connection with his dad, and he did not once badmouth his father. So anyway, Davey and the dad end up going for blows. They end up getting into a fight because Davey he keeps popping off. He has so many issues with this man, and you know, he's doing the most. Every time he sees him, he's just kind of like, yeah, I got a problem with you. You know, you ain't shit. You ain't a provider. And just saying little things under his breath. And then he gets loud and all this stuff. And they get into a fight. Now, the reason why I just kind of skipped over some shit, because it was supposed to be a build up to the son saying he's gay. But everybody was like, we all knew you were gay. So, yeah, that storyline was kind of cut. Nobody cared about that storyline. And then after that, they didn't even really address it anymore. And all of that shit. So anyway, Davey and the father end up getting into a fight. And that's how it comes out that actually Davey is not the son's man. He's actually the mama's man. So Davey, the roommate, the friend, the best friend of the son, has been fucking his mama. He's been fucking his mama and he's been with her, and it's now coming out, which none of that makes sense. So everybody is celebrating and jumping for joy and like, oh, congratulations, blah, 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 blah. But nobody's asking any questions like, okay, so y'all, wait a minute. So what the hell going on? Ain't nobody gay? You're not gay? Just, well, y'all not together? We're confused. Nobody's asking any questions. Like I said, they just kind of nipped that storyline in the bud, which it doesn't make any sense at all. So anyway, it comes out that the mama and Davy, they're together. All right, they're together. She's 12 years older than him. He's 26 years old, and she's, Stella got a groove back, right? Everybody's celebrating, and she's liberated and empowered, which I don't understand how she came out as the good one in all of this situation, because I kind of feel like she's just as fucked up, if not worse, because she even used her son as a pawn to kind of hide the fact that she's actually the one with the dirty laundry. She's actually the one who's fucking Davy, and she would rather have everybody thinking that her son and him are together, and she would rather have Davy look like he's a gay man out here before just owning up to it, which doesn't make any sense at all. And also, it's awful funny that Davy is repeating everything that the family has been saying about the father. You couldn't provide. You abandoned your family. You did it. You weren't this. You weren't that. What kind of man are you? So pretty much when she was getting back shots from Davy late night and they were pillow talking, she was downing her ex-husband to him, ranting about her ex-husband to him the same way she went home and ranted to her family about him and put that bug in everybody's ear that man ain't about shit. Because it's awful funny that everybody has the same opinion on the father, but nobody got an actual example. So really the root of it all is the mama being toxic as hell. Because the son doesn't showcase that. The son seems to actually love his dad and enjoy his dad and has a connection with his dad, and so badly wanted his dad to be there at all of his major events and even gave him a shout out in the speech. So I don't really know how mama was celebrated in all of this and everything, and she just came out without any scars on her, but the daddy was just drugged through the mud, and we don't even know why the hell he was even drugged through the mud, because nobody could give an example of what he did. They think allegedly the best friend got with him when they were still together, but we don't know that for sure. We don't know anything, honestly. So that's pretty much the gist of the movie. Oh, yeah. And the one that looks like the white Medea on the right-hand side, right behind Uncle Joe, that's Agnes. She was kind of funny. The blonde hair one, like, I don't know if I said it already, but she was pointless. I probably feel like they're probably going to have, like, an Agnes spin-off or something eventually, because they kind of implied that they should come to Ireland or something like that. But, yeah. In the end, the mother and Davy end up getting together and everybody's happy, and I'm just confused. The writing was horrible. The storyline flipped like several different times, and I can't help but to think that if it had been a reverse storyline, such as the dad was fucking let's say he had a daughter instead, and his daughter came back home with her college roommate, if it came out that those two were fucking around, I don't really think that it would have been as celebrated. I think that it would have been looked at as, oh, you're fucking gross, and all of that shit. So this movie, I would probably give it like a 2. And the only reason why I'm even being that generous is because Uncle Joe was funny. Medea has some funny parts in it. I mean, the core people were your typical funny. The story itself was pretty damn stupid, and I wouldn't watch this again. If I damn sure wouldn't pay to watch this anywhere. And if it was on in the background, I don't even know if I would even waste time just having it on in the background. It's really just not that good. It wasn't that good. So yeah, I mean, overall, this film was pretty trash, and I have to say this. I gotta say this because Tyler Perry films has a history of doing this, being colorist, and I bet you're wondering, like, how is it colorist and all these black people are in it? It's colorist because the black male in that was represented, the hetero black male anyway, that was represented was incompetent. He was seen as incompetent. Uncle Joe pushed up on his grandniece, and I know that's just Uncle Joe, but Uncle Joe doesn't really seem like he was the most decent man back in the day. Mr. Brown is Mr. Brown, and then you get to the father, and that's what I'm mainly focusing on this, because I really don't care what Uncle Joe and Mr. Brown are doing, but the father, who is a black male, is seen as a deadbeat. He can't provide, he can't do this, he can't do this, and the biracial knight in shining armor comes in. He just can jump into being a husband, a father, and being more wise and more motivated, and he just seems to be better in every way. And that's, to me, is still the form of old Tyler Perry films, old school Tyler Perry films and plays, where they have these colorist messages of depicting the black male as nothing. He ain't shit. He ain't about shit. He ain't gonna be shit. And then, you know, the biracial male is seen as the one that is the good guy, the decent man. He would never break your heart and all of these things. Just, you know, that's just what, from my perspective. But also what I didn't like is, as trifling as all of it was, because it was trifling. I mean, it's your son's achievement celebration, and all of y'all dirty laundry just comes out. You fucking his best friend, daddy's fucking mama's best friend. It's like, okay, y'all just all messy, and it's all coming to a head at the ceremony. And nobody once asked the son if he was all right in any of it. How are you feeling? If anything, they just told him, be thankful for your parents. They sacrificed a lot, especially your mother. Your mother sacrificed. It was more about what the mama sacrificed. You know, daddy just wasn't shit, apparently, in every way. And I think it's safe to say that Davy's black side of the family wasn't shit either, because they didn't have Agnes and maybe the black side, one relative of the black side come, you know, on his behalf. They just had his two white side of the family come. So that means his black side of the family is probably not involved with him very much, and if at all, and it's probably because the black side is his black father's side. So this is just an example, once again, of, you know, showing black men in a bad light and a bad representation. But it's traditional Tyler Perry. I mean, you can't really get too offended by it, because that's the overall message that he's always putting in his films about black men. It's never really a decent message overall. And the way the son just chucks it up, well, I guess I hid that I was gay, so it's all right, Mom, that you fucked my friend, and it's okay that you guys ruined my ceremony, and it's all right because we're all family at the end of the day. Yeah, no. I mean, this whole story was just throw this shit away. I don't know who the hell wrote this, but this was horrible writing all the way around. And I feel like I've been going on too long about this damn video. So with that being said, if you like this video, make sure to thumbs it up, and I'm out. You can see this film for yourself if you want to on Netflix. I wouldn't recommend wasting an hour and 38 minutes, but it's on you. Yeah. At Madea's Homecoming.